Thursday, the 27th of August, 2026. A pleasant morning to you, and thank you for sticking with us this morning. This is the Breakfast News Live on GTV. We're here to keep you updated on stories making waves in and outside our country. Don't forget, we're live on Facebook and X at GTV Ghana, Multi-TV Decoder Channel 120 and DSTV Channel 278. I am Valencia Tete. Let's settle for the detail of the stories making headlines this morning. We started from the presidency, where President John Mahama has inaugurated the Boko Revitalization Fund Committee with 1 billion Ghana cedis allocation to support the restoration and development of Boko and surrounding district. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony at the presidency in Accra, President Mahama said the improved security situation in the area provides an opportunity to revive economic activity, restore stalled development projects, and ensure that Boko recovers or recaptures its former glory as a major commercial center.
Security in Boko
and surrounding areas, this is the time to begin implementation of the Revitalization Fund. We want Boko to recapture its former glory as a major commercial center in Ghana. As a result of the conflict, we're not able to post national service people to the area. We're not able to post medical personnel to the area. Indeed, there were very important projects taking place there, like the Tamni Dam. One employee of the company was killed, and so the contractor had to pull out. And so that dam that will benefit 4 districts in Boko has come to a standstill. But I'm happy that now we have the opportunity to go back and continue the development so that the people of the area would benefit from all the projects that we've been doing, so that Boko will get its fair share of the national cake. So today we've gathered to inaugurate the committee that will be steering the Revitalization Fund. It will go to provision of infrastructure and any other, areas that the committee deems fit. And we expect that as many districts within the Boko area will benefit from the Revitalization Fund.
Member of the committee, Chief of Tampani, Cletus Abugri, recounted the negative impact of the Boko conflict on development in the area and expressed optimism that the implementation of the 1 billion Ghana cedi Revitalization Fund will help Boko bounce back and reclaim its position as a major commercial center. Reporting for GBC News, Celestine Avi, Presidency.
So President John Mahama has signed 10 bills into law covering areas including customs administration, community service taxation, energy levies, maritime offences, national defence, cocoa regulations and value-added tax. According to President Mahama, the newly enacted laws forms part of government's broader effort to strengthen Ghana's legal and institutional framework, improve revenue mobilization and support reforms across key sectors of the economy.
The legislation gives the institution legal status and provides for the accreditation of its programs and courses. Under the Income Tax Amendment Act 2026, persons earning the national minimum wage of below will be exempted from paying income tax. The Energy Sector Levies Amendment Act 2026 seeks to close loopholes associated with the use of fuel oil by factories and maritime vessels. Beneficiaries of the previous exemption will now be required to pay the applicable taxes and provide evidence of reinvestment. The Ghana Cocoa Board Act 2026 incorporates key reforms in the cocoa sector, including government's commitment to process at least 50% of Ghana's cocoa beans locally. The law also provides for cocoa farmers to receive 70% of the world market price for their cocoa, fulfilling a major government commitment to producers. The Value Added Tax Amendment Act 2026 provides for VAT exemptions relating to goals surrendered by large-scale mining companies to Bank of Ghana under the government's new Goals for Reserves arrangement. The final legislation is the Excise Act 2026, which consolidates existing excise laws and their amendments into a single framework. The law covers excisable goods including alcoholic beverage, cigarettes, and other dutiable products, while also introducing an excise duty exemption for locally manufactured fruit juices as an incentive to support domestic productions. The new laws, according to President Mahama, are aimed at plugging revenue leakages, improving efficiency, and delivering all key government policy commitments.
And so anybody who is on the minimum wage or below the minimum wage is exempt from income tax. So 10 bills signed today.
Reporting for GBC News, Celestine Avi, Presidency.
Away from the presidency, the special prosecutor, Mr. Kisi Ejabin, has named former Energy Minister Dr. Kobna Donko and 4 other Ghanaian officials as persons of interest in the Asante Bekom and Akasa Energy bribery scandal. The case follows the conviction of former Tema Oil Refinery Managing Director, Mr. Asante Bekom, by a U.S. federal jury in Brooklyn, New York, for conspiring with Ghanaian officials between 2014 and 2015 to make illicit payments to influence decisions in the energy sector. According to the prosecutor, the payments were meant to secure approvals for a power project during Ghana's dire energy crisis. Now, addressing the news conference in Accra on Wednesday, August 26, 2026, the special prosecutor said investigations are ongoing to establish the rules of the named individuals and determine whether they should face the prosecution.
Evidence and the applicable law determine whether prosecution should be commenced in Ghana or otherwise. That is to say, the conviction of Asante Kweku Bekom in the United States does not provide automatic basis for the prosecution of identified persons who acted with him under Ghanaian law. As at 31 December 2025, the OSP was conducting the prosecution of 33 persons and had 79 cases at full investigation stage and 161 other cases at the preliminary investigation level. The vast auction of item system and a huge reduction in the often abused customs advance ruling regime in aid of the recouping of more revenue. The OSP's shake-up of the government payroll system has saved the nation a little over 100 million cedis so far.
And President John Mahama has made some changes in his government. Now, here's the report.
In a release issued by the Presidency Communications and signed by the spokesperson to the President and Minister for Government Communications, Mr. Felix Kwachiofosu, the Minister for Employment, Labour and Jobs, Dr. Abdul Rashid Hassan Pelpo, has been reassigned as Minister of State for Special Initiatives. He will be replaced by Mr. Emmanuel Ichekum, who currently serves as Minister of State in charge of Special Initiatives. The President has also reassigned Deputy Minister for Defense, Mr. Ernest Brocha Chemfi, as a presidential advisor on national resilience and emergency preparedness. The reassignments take immediate effect.
Let's go to Kigali in Rwanda, where the Vice President, Professor Nana Jinopokwadjman, has engaged the Ghanaian community in Rwanda, outlining government's efforts to improve living conditions and ensure that the benefits of development reach more citizens. She said government inherited a difficult economy characterized by high inflation, currency pressures, and a high and heavy debt burden, but is working to restore stability and redirect resources to critical sectors.
Emphasis on technical and vocational education pathways suited to their abilities and interests. The Vice President urged Ghanaians abroad to register with Ghana's diplomatic missions to help government better understand and respond to their needs.
We know that the secondary school became very, very topical. But you see, for us, our major concern is before you get to the secondary school, because that's where it begins. When things don't go right there, you may not even get up there. So we are also paying attention to the schools that are not doing well.
Ghana's High Commissioner to Rwanda, Mr. Ernest Ampofo, reaffirmed government's commitment to the welfare of Ghanaians abroad. He commended the community for contributing to Rwanda's development and maintaining a positive image of Ghana.
Our objective should not be merely to identify challenges, but also to put forward practical suggestions, identify opportunities, and consider what each of us can do to help address the issues that confront our country and our communities.
The president of the Ghanaian community in Rwanda, Mr. Samuel Aban, thanked the vice president for the engagement and urged Ghanaians to continue upholding the country's reputation abroad.
Wherever we may find ourselves, we remain connected to Ghana and continue to have a role to play in the development and progress of our dear nation.
Back home in Ghana, the project coordinator for the Greater Accra Resilient and Integrated Development GARID project, Dr. Kojo Ohene-Safo, has announced that construction of a major storm water drainage system along the Dr. Buzia Highway within the Kaneshie Enclave will commence on September 7, 2026. Now, speaking at the Government Accountability Series at the Presidency in Accra, Dr. Ohene explained that the project would involve the construction of a double-cell underground rectangular storm water drain measuring approximately 10 meters wide and 1.95 kilometers long from Pamprom Junction to First Light Junction. This is part of efforts to address perennial flooding in the capital. He further explained that the Ministry of Works in the Housing and Water Resources, in collaboration with the development of urban roads, has developed a comprehensive traffic management plan to ensure the safe and efficient flow of traffic throughout the construction period.
Develop this comprehensive traffic management plan to ensure that traffic continues to flow safely and efficiently through the construction period. Implementation of the traffic management plan will be in phases. The first phase will begin on 7th of September 2026 with the closure of the westbound carriageway of the Dr. Buzia Highway starting from Pamprom Junction. This phase will continue till the end of November 2026 and will affect all vehicles traveling from Kolebu Mochri Road, Graphic Road, Obechebi Lamte Circle, Kwame Nkrumah Circle, all of them heading towards the Pamprom Junction and then on to the First Light traffic intersection and beyond. Affected vehicles will be required to use the Aodome Cemetery Road, the New Times Corporation to Aodome Roundabout, the Oblogo to Mataeko route as well, to access the First Light Junction and thereafter proceed on their journey. It is expected that this first phase of the works will be completed by the end of November, and Pamprom Junction will then be open to traffic in the first week of December 2026.
You're still watching the Breakfast News live on GTV. Now, electric vehicle charging operators are being urged to obtain the necessary permit from the Energy Commission before establishing charging station. The Minister for Energy and Green Transition, Dr. John Jinapo, says some improperly stored charging stations are placing excessive pressure on electricity transformers, resulting in damage and, in some cases, explosions. Speaking at the Future of Energy Conference in Accra, Dr. Jinapo said standardizing the establishment and operation of EV charging stations is critical to protecting the electricity distribution infrastructure and ensuring reliable power supply for electric vehicles and industries.
In Ghana, we are importing a lot of EV vehicles, and at the last check, Ghana had the highest number of EV vehicles in the whole of Africa. And it is because you save about 40% on the cost of fuel alone. So naturally, Ghanaians are opting for EV vehicles, but that provides us with a challenge. How do you provide reliable energy to power industrialization in light of EV vehicles being deployed in the country? And we've been working around the clock to ensure that we come up with legislation. And as I speak, there's legislation before Parliament to regulate EV vehicle usage and how we charge them. So what we are saying is that you would need permission to set up that EV charging station from the Energy Commission. That gives us the opportunity to reinforce a grid, install more transformers, so that by the time you are ready, we can accommodate your charging station.
The Mahama-led administration has declined a 20 million Ghana cedis donation reportedly offered by MTN Ghana to support Ghanaian victims of recently xenophobic attacks in South Africa. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a statement issued on Wednesday, August 26, 2026, said it had become aware of media reports suggesting that MTN Ghana was preparing to donate 20 million Ghana cedis to Ghanaians affected by the attacks. The ministry said the report attributed the intended donation to comments made by MTN board chairman Dr. Ishmael Yamson, while acknowledging and commending the telecommunication company for the offer. The government said it had decided not to accept this because it had already made arrangements to finance the evacuation and reintegration of Ghanaians affected by the situation. According to the ministry, the government's position is based on the provision already made by the John Dramani Mahama administration for the ongoing evacuation and reintegration of Ghanaians from South Africa. The ministry said the decision had already been communicated directly to the MTN board chairman and chief executive when the meeting with the Foreign Affairs Minister, Mr. Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, on 14th August 2026. The government, however, stressed that it remains committed to providing financial support for the evacuation and reintegration of Ghanaians affected by the xenophobic attack in South Africa. And Sonabel, the operator and manager of the Bagre Dam in Burkina Faso, says controlled spillage of the dam is likely to begin on Friday, August 28, 2026. A daily update from the White Volta Basin Secretariat of the Water Resources Commission indicated that the water level of the Bagre Dam was currently 234.55 meters, with a filling rate of 93.89%, 0.45 meters below the normal reservoir level of 235.0 meters. Sonabel may likely open the spillway of the Bagre Dam on Friday, August 28, 2026, if the reservoir level reaches 234.75 meters. If this occurs, you will be updated, the statement said. Additionally, the water level of the dam was currently 178.13 meters, with a filling rate of 81.45%, 1.87 meters below the normal reservoir level of 180.0 meters. Now, a spillway of the dam has been opened at 0.5 meters since January 1, 2026. The discharge rate is 19.03 cubic meters per second. The Commission said the purpose of this opening was not to discharge or regulate flood flows, but rather maintain a minimum water level in the river. And let's do some stories across our borders. Oakland, California, August 26, Meta Platforms opens new tab will pay up to $18 billion over the next decade and strictly limit how teenagers use Facebook and Instagram under an agreement with nearly all U.S. states to resolve claims to design those social media platforms to addict children. The settlement announced on Wednesday end a federal trial over allegations Meta's product harmed children and the company misled the public about their safety. 4 of the states, California, New Jersey, other were expected to seek close to $200 billion in civil. While Meta will not undergo a fundamental overhaul, the accord represents a sweeping effort to define how it serves younger users. It could provide a template for resolving thousands of other lawsuits against social media companies. Governments around the world are trying to curb children's access to harmful online content, including a ban in Australia on social media for children under 16. The focus of this case was to protect our children, California Attorney General said in a statement. The relief we are getting in this settlement is very meaningful and well beyond what any court has ordered or is likely to order. And this is where we end the Breakfast News Live on GTV. For more news update, please do log on to our website at gbcghanaonline.com. Follow us on all our social media platforms. For more news update, the Breakfast Show team is standing by to give us what we have on the breakfast table this morning. Stick with us after this break. I am Valencia Tete.